Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is Sonic the Hedgehog really just blowing it out. Sonic 3 blowing out Disney. Yeah, it's not great for Disney. They crushed Mufasa's Disney's Mufasa the Lion King, and just in every single way. It's just crazy. And this is not looking too great for Disney, right? A lot of Disney's material recently, as of late, has been real garbage. It's been pretty bad, and nobody wants to watch their garbage anymore. And I will be probably leaving again, probably on Friday, and then we'll be back maybe Wednesday, possibly less. So you see that here. But what we have here is Sonic 3 just crushing it. And what we have this here from the Sonic 3 Racing, from the Hollywood Reporter, saying Sonic 3 racing to huge $70 million US opening. Mufasa a distant second at $35 million. Paramount Sonic the Hedgehog 3 easily topped Friday's chart with a huge $25.6 million, putting it on course for a $70 million domestic opening, and Disney's Mufasa the Lion King comes in a distant second. Paramount knew the Sonic 3 was in great shape when it was earned a franchise best $6.5 million in Thursday previews. The second Sonic grossed 5 million previews on its way to a 72.1 million opening. That film, however, opened in March. The Christmas holidays are far different propositions. So yeah, it's doing quite well. Unfortunately for Mufasa, it's not. While Mufasa was tracking for a $50 million debut, the Lion King sequel, however, is coming behind in expectations and could only open to $35 million domestically. Its Friday of $13.3 million included $3.3 million in previews. Disney believes Mufasa will pick up as the holiday corridor unfolds when weekdays are like Saturday or Sunday. It also has the advantage of playing across the IMAX circuit and a large swath of other premium large format auditoriums. Studio is pushing consumers to see the film in 3D. Overseas, Mufasa hopes to deliver a far better result this weekend with foreign ticket sales of 90 million overseas for a global start of 225 million. However, the film was expected to do more, with a pre-release tracking suggesting a debut of 125 million for a global bow of 180 million. So, Disney's Mufasa is doing below expectations. It's not doing well. And they're really hoping that it's going to pick up. Right, it's going to pick up. Well, you can say the same thing that it would pick up again for Sonic the Hedgehog, because if they're only just doing it after the holidays, etc., then, well, you would expect it to pick up even more. So, Disney, you're in full-on cope mode here. You are full-on cope. And then we have this here as well, where the Mufasa budget was $200 million, excluding the marketing cost. Whereas we have Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is $122 million. They have a market of $172 million. They already have, on pretty much the first day, has made a close to $68 million to $72 million. And this is just the first 1 or 2 days. This is not even counting the weekend that is heading up towards them, which they haven't. I don't even think we've even done worldwide things, so we'll see how that goes. So it looks like it's in trouble. And of course, we have the infamous Disney doing it again. We have from that dark place saying Disney bullies theaters, forcing Mufasa on more theaters than Sonic 3, even as the Hedgehog earns far more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. There you have it. So, if this is true, right? If this is true, to where if Disney is bullying theaters and forcing Mufasa on more theaters than Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is still outperforming, Disney, this is pathetic. This is pathetic in every regard if that is true. That means you have no hope. Everything is down in the gutter. It says, as the holiday season unfolds, the cinematic landscape reveals a familiar pattern. Disney flexing its box office muscles by dominating theater allocations. However, this year brings an unusual twist, as Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has emerged as unexpected box office leader. for the leader analysis, but not for you nor me. Despite being hindered by Disney's theater allocation tactics, Disney's approach to holiday releases has long relied on securing the widest possible theater footprint. This strategy ensures that their films are accessible to the broadest audience, squeezing out competitors. Historically, this tactic has been highly effective. In 1999, Toy Story 2 dominated Thanksgiving weekend with a record-breaking release in 236 theaters, setting a precedent for Disney's future holiday campaigns. More recently, Moana 2 debuted a staggering 4,200 theaters during Thanksgiving 2024, grossing $222 million in 5 days, and contributing to the highest grossing Thanksgiving weekend on record. Disney's control over theater allocations not only boosts revenue, but also limits the availability of screens for competing films, particularly in the lucrative holiday season. Which also means that a lot of Disney's probably extra amount of revenue is fake. Because they're forcing competitors out of the scene and not be able to compete, and therefore is making their money be more inflated, which makes every other movie that they made even worse in comparison. That means they had all the extra theaters and stuff like that, and their movies are still flopping. So if they didn't have those extra theater space and had all the other movies compete fairly, they would do even worse. So, despite Disney's dominance, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has managed to outpace the competition at the box office, raking in more than $60 million in its opening weekend and securing the top spot in North America. Yet its success is overshadowed by a significant limitation: the inability to expand its theater count. Currently showing in 3,769 locations, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 faces a bottleneck caused by contractual obligations many theaters would have with Disney. For Mufasa, The Lion King, while Sonic 3 has provided far more revenue per theaters, the total count of screens added for Sonic 3 from its first week to its second would be a staggering 8. Yes, 8 additional screens in the entire nation. Disney's agreements often stipulate extended runs in a high number of theaters, leaving a little room for other blockbusters to increase their reach. Despite being the second highest earner this season, Mufasa continues to occupy 4,100 locations, effectively stifling Sonic's ability to capitalize on its box office momentum. This scenario highlights the broader implications of Disney's theater capturing strategy. While the tactic maximizes Disney's box office returns, it also reshapes the competitive dynamics of the holiday season. Films like Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which might otherwise to expand their footprint to meet audience demand, are constrained by the lack of available screens. Theaters too face a dilemma. Disney films often come with guarantees of high audience turnout, making them a safer bet for exhibitors. So that's what's happening, right? And Disney is just stifling Sonic. It's trying to ruin Sonic. It's trying to bring Sonic down, and Sonic is still reigning supreme. It is still dominating. That is a huge problem for Disney. That is not looking good. This is the reason why I don't support Disney. Do not support anything that they do, because they're bullies. They're petty, and their movies are just not good. That's probably the number one thing. And this is showing this here, that they're so petty that they would want to get more theaters and stuff like that, and more screenings, so they can stifle their opponents. And they're trying to do that to Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and it's failing. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.